Hey everybody, it's Gabriel. I just want to talk a minute about how do you talk to your kids. I have that as the subject because the one thing I'm really thankful for growing up is, even though we had a lot of struggles growing up, okay, some of you know my story, and if you don't, you will soon. We're going to be sharing a lot of great stuff, a lot of testimonial, but anyway, growing up, there was a lot of challenges, but the one thing that I'm super thankful for, well, many things, but one thing I'm thankful for is the way my mother always, she always talked to me like I was an adult. She always gave me big picture, big worldview concepts and conversations. Here's what this word means. Here's how you say this in this language and that language and this language. And she would talk about world affairs and relationships between people. And she was even very open about the relationships between men and women and more intimate things. You know, obviously she was tactful, but so nothing was ever a taboo. Didn't need to go, chase alcohol or go experiment or go find myself by trying out a bunch of stuff, because she had already disarmed all of that stuff in conversation. I had already seen it. It was just life, and I understood it. And when I heard conversation, so nothing was driving me to that. So one thing that I don't think I realized it to the degree that I do until tonight. I mean, it hit me and I do it, but my oldest boy tells me, he goes, "Dad," he says, "one thing I appreciate about you," and he said this to me the other day, is that you never talked to me like a kid. You always entered me into the conversations. Whenever we had business meetings or people were over, whether it was about biblical matters or, life and death situations, or people were having challenges with marriages or financial issues, or, what the world deals with on a regular basis, or visionary stuff or entrepreneurial things, he said, you always sat me right there during all of it. And he said I was able to drink from that. He just tells me this last night. And he said, I really appreciate that, because it always grounded me and it allowed me to understand. He says, sometimes I understood the world a little bit sooner than I wanted to. He said, but what he told me was, you didn't waste time treating me like a kid, having kid conversations about stuff that really didn't matter anyway. And that meant a lot, that he said that. And I went, wait a minute, that's what my mom did with me. And I was so thankful for that, because it grounded me in life. It made me larger than my circumstances. I could always see above it. I could see above the clouds, right? Well, tonight, where we went to the mall and hung out, it was just me and Hudson and my wife's brother, and we went to the mall and did some cool stuff today. And anyway, my second oldest boy, Hudson, he goes, "Dad, you know what I really appreciate?" He said, "You always entered me into deep conversations. You always brought me close. I never felt like the young one." And he said, "I've just really enjoyed tonight, because we were just having some really deep conversations today. It was really, really awesome as we were driving around and getting some stuff done." And the reason I'm telling you all this is because, how are you talking to your children? Is it touch not, taste not, see not? Is it talking to 5-year-olds about 5-year-old toys, 5-year-old situations, 5-year-old issues, 5-year-old mentality? When they're 6, you talk to them about it being a 6-year-old mentality, 6-year-old things. 12-year-old mentality, 15-year, and then by the time they're 18, 20, 21, well, guess who raised them? Other kids. Guess who told them stuff and showed them stuff? Probably not you. That's what you don't want. Make sure you're the one that teaches your kids about life, not their peers. Believe me, not any system or anybody else other than you, because it's just a beautiful thing to watch children grow up. I mean, Hudson's 12, Aiden's 15, he'll be 16 here soon, and they're already thinking about how to change the world, how to change their world, how to make a difference in the world. business concepts, ideas. They're not afraid of anything. They can walk into a room, shake somebody's hand, look them straight in the eyes, and they're fearless to have a conversation. They don't feel like a kid. You know, children should be seen and not heard. How many of us heard that growing up? And all of the little fake decorum that everybody had half the time that only just basically suppressed people. And I personally think it just doesn't help. I mean, there's obviously a time for children to enter into conversations and things, but don't be afraid to bring your kids close. Don't be afraid to let them tag along. Even working for ourselves, working in home-based business and being entrepreneurs all these years, our kids, you know, were born and were half asleep in their little carry-around car seats, or, you know, sitting under a chair playing with Legos during business meetings, when we were having trainings, when I was doing conference calls, and it just caused them to rise to the occasion. So my question is, how are you talking to your kids? If you treat them and speak to them according to their potential, not according to their age or their circumstances, but you speak to their potential and you speak to them as a responsible party, your children will rise to the occasion. They will fill the space you create and rise to the occasion. And they'll also shrink to the size of the restriction that's created. Children are magnificent. And tonight, I'm just so thankful that it's just that much clearer. And that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. Speak to your kids and speak to everybody you run into according to their potential and what they can be, not according to age, demographic, circumstances, or anything else, all right? Blessings, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.